Hello, dear friends, especially word lovers, English learners, and language learners, not only English, all languages. Do you ever find yourself stumbling upon new or unknown words while reading news articles, browsing the weblog, any article on the internet when you are working, wishing there was an easier way to get the definition? Or pronunciation, and even keep the track of the words and have a flashcard for learning, or download all the words, or even a tool that can help us gather all the words, new words that we face when we were reading the article or web page together, and make any changes, write the definition, examples, pronunciation, make it a bilingual dictionary in language that we need, and publish it or have it for learning, and all other kind of activities that we can do by using this tool. Today, we are going to talk about a really fantastic tool that will change the way that maybe we are going to learn and work. It's not only for students or teachers or English learners or language learners. It is for everybody, even the professionals and also the curious minds. Really, it is an amazing tool that you can have all the online dictionaries. Pay attention, all online dictionaries in any languages, English, French, Farsi, Arabic, Turkish, any languages in one place. And it is amazing. By double clicking, you can access the definition very quickly. It is not necessary to waste your time, open the dictionary or go to another tab on the internet, open and copy paste or write. By double clicking, you can find the pronunciation and also spelling, the meaning of the word. For example, this is one page of the news I am reading. Maybe I don't know the meaning of this or the pronunciation. It is enough double click it. When I double click,
Wreckage.
you see I automatically hear the pronunciation, and here I can access, as you see, the phonetic and pronunciation of the word both in American,
Wreckage.
US, and also British.
Wreckage.
And also the meaning. Okay, and even with another dictionary, it is a different dictionary. Even in my own language, for example, I can in Farsi, I can have in Farsi. So these are the extensions that we will learn how to add and install them. For example, another word, double click, and
Submarine.
I will have the pronunciation automatically. If I want, I can change it. Which pronunciation, for example, US or UK, and also I have the meaning and definition, and even I can copy paste and have it in Microsoft Word. I can copy it and then paste it in Microsoft Word. But also there is a better way here that I will show you. It is not necessary to do so manually. As you see here, it is enough double click on the word and have the pronunciation and the definition with the examples, access to it very quickly. And it is not only on English websites. You can go, for example, it is a very good website for those who are going to learn French, news in slow French. It has beginner, intermediate, advanced, and lots of programs. For example, in beginner program, I can go and choose one of the news. And when I am reading here, you can access to the PDF file, the pronunciation, I mean the voice of the news. But when I face a new word, it is in French. It is enough double click on it, and you see here, and
Européen. Européen.
yes, have the pronunciation in French and also the meaning. Another word, for example, the red ones you see, they have the meaning because it's a kind of learning web page. So the new one that are not, for example, in red color, I double click on this word. I don't know what is this, and I can hear the pronunciation. The phonetic, and also it means they or them. Okay, another one. I can listen to the pronunciation. Sun. And also, even if I want in Farsi, I can turn to the Google Translate. You see, this is the very automatically. You see, it changes from French to Farsi. Even on Chinese, for example, it is a Chinese website news. I don't know the meaning of this word. It is enough to double click on it. You see the pronunciation and the meaning. It means channel. Channel. And another word, I don't know. Maybe this is not the word exactly. Okay, this one.
可能是
Okay, even in some dictionaries, for example, like Google Translate, I can see the whole meaning of the sentence. Okay, or even the French one. If I select this sentence, I can see the meaning in Farsi. Anyway, It is better to get more familiar with this dictionary and how to install it. As I mentioned here, any new words that you are reading, for example, this one, double click. When you double click it, you can see the
Destroyer.
The pronunciation,
Destroyer.
the phonetic,
Destroyer.
and
Destroyer.
access all the meaning, everything. But here, as you see, the dictionary on my extension here above, if I click on it, I can access the same word in all dictionaries. This is the place that you can work on it. You see here, for example, this is Longman Dictionary. If I want to find in vocabulary dictionary, I can go and very quickly the destroyer meaning, find the definition in vocabulary.com. Or for example, on Longman, I can click on Longman and find the meaning. And on the Longman, it says, okay, destroys, destroyer. Which one? I say this one. And on Longman, it shows me the definition, the pronunciation.
Destroyer.
I can access
Destroyer.
anything I want, and I can read. It quickly access all the dictionaries that are available here. Another one, for example, Oxford. I can quickly choose Oxford, and I can see the definition. I mean that very quickly by one click, I can access all dictionaries that can help me by one click. Okay. Here, as you see, I can access all my previous words that maybe I have searched. You see the Chinese, the French, or other words that I have searched. Here, I can access them. And also write another word. If I want to search another word, for example, I don't know the meaning of era. I write it here, for example, era, and I can see the definition in Oxford Learner. If I want to, you can change it, for example, for the Cambridge Dictionary. So you can search the word here if you want. And you see here the arrows. You can go, for example, the dictionaries that are here, Oxford or another one, the same word that you are searching, and go forward or backward. But if you click on this small arrow, okay, you can choose any dictionary that you want. For example, in Farsi dictionary that I have added here, I can see the meaning, the word era in Farsi dictionary. In order to access all settings here, as you see here, I can click on the arrow, then go down on more. This is a dictionary that we are going to install in a minute and learn all activities that we can do. Here, as you see the history, this is the words that I have searched here. For example, I can sort them based on the time or the source or based on the sentence, or rate them. Even when I am working, I can rate them. Okay, the rating is for my more favorite or middle or less. So I can rate them. Even I can search the word. For example, I know that, for example, I have searched the word battle. I can type here, and you see it very quickly brings the word if I want. Okay, so other things that I can say, okay, it shows that about more than 300 words I have searched when I was teaching or working, something like this. And even the words, for example, this one I don't need, I can click and delete it from the list, then sort them, and even I can download them as a file. I mean that when you have worked all the vocabularies in one article and you want to have them in a document, in an Excel document, you can click here and download all the words. First of all, before going this, you should organize them, change anything or delete unnecessary words. Then you can, when I click here, I can download all these words here in my history. Then I can open it, and you see it is in a file, and I can see the definition, the sources, the sentences, anything that I have done. Even I can change them, for example, write the meaning, for example, in Farsi or other languages that I want, and I will have all my new vocabularies in a file, and then I can go and review, even change the color, anything that you can do, for example, to learn better. I am not going to work on it. It is the thing that you can do. But pay attention that the most important part here is that if you want to add the new hard words in your flashcard to learn, practice them, for example, victory. I don't know. For
Victory.
It is difficult for me. I want to work on it. Here, as you see in front of it, we have an arrow. This arrow is for, as you see here, start Anki study. You know, Anki, you can search on the internet, on YouTube. There are lots of videos how to work with Anki. It is very simple. It is one of the best programs to make flashcards and for the learning and see the progress of your improvement. So here, very easily, when you have installed it and you have your Anki program, here, for example, on the this word in front of it, pay attention not to click on the red one, I mean the cross one. It will omit, remove from the list this arrow one. When I click, it automatically logs in on my Anki website, and also you see it opens the dictionary, the last dictionary, maybe a Longman dictionary that I have opened, and even I can go other dictionaries and copy paste. For example, I want to have sorry, one moment, this dictionary, the meaning of the pronunciation, the sentences from this dictionary, I can minimize here. You see, it automatically added the definition, even the picture. I can change the picture or omit the picture, one of them. It has the meaning, for example, here, the pronunciation, everything, and Control V, I can paste the definition or change it, anything that, even I can click here and write the definition in Farsi, for example, Piruzi in Farsi, or any, sorry, Piruzi in Farsi or any language that you would like to have it. This is the one of the best tools. Or even you can add a picture. For example, click somewhere, pay attention that where is your cursor. Here I'm going to add a picture. I go to one of the websites, for example, here, click and drag this picture. Here, you see, it adds the picture here. If you want, you can keep it here if it is related to this word, and do lots of other things. I'm not going to teach Anki web, and you can, as I mentioned, search on the internet, find other website. Then after doing this, you can click on add and add it on your docs or list that you have on your Anki. And when you are going to study, you can go to your docs and search it or work on the vocabulary, because it was added on default, for example, basic. And you can work on it, learn it. As I mentioned, this is the only word that I have added here. You can listen to the pronunciation. And when you click on show the answer, it gives the picture or the definition, the meaning, everything that you have added. And you can play with it, work it, and it is easy tool. I'm not, as I mentioned, I'm not going to talk more about this. More about the settings and changes. Here, as I mentioned, it is the history. This is the place that you can access all the vocabularies that you have worked on a web page or during the time, anything that you can sort them, find them, delete them here, delete all of them, or download all of them. Or as I mentioned, you can add them to your Anki for review and making flashcard, other things that it is for learning. But another part is dictionaries. When you click here, pay attention. When I install, I will install at the end and will show you. There are lots of dictionaries here. I remove them. For example, if I don't need one of them, this one, for example, Collins English Dictionary or Thesaurus, I can click here, and it won't come on the list that you saw for the first time. And pay attention. This is the most, very most important part. You can add your favorite dictionary. When you click here, you see I have added, it was not on the default here. I have added my Farsi dictionary here. You can click here, okay, add more dicts. You can access all the dictionaries on the internet. For example, in English, we have 169 dictionaries. You can access all of them. In German, other Portuguese and Persian or Farsi, I have 33. I can click here and go to Persian dictionaries. For example, this one I have added. I can add, for example, this one. I can click here and add. So it will add it to my dictionaries. When I come here, I can access both of them. Here, as you see, here I have it. If I refresh it, sorry, when I refresh it, you see I can access to this Tercüme Yek dictionary. So pay attention. When you click on add more dicts, you can search. For example, Control F. You can say Turkish. I want a Turkish Turkey. You see it goes here. When I go to Turkish, there are lots of dictionaries here. It is in Turkey. And I can add any of them that I want. Or Chinese. When I click on, for example, Chinese, you see, and you see 23 different Chinese language dictionaries, and I can add any of them that I need, or Japanese or other languages. So this is the most important part, that you can add here. And we have some other settings, for example, the color of the highlighted word or other options you can, because there are. But one of the most important part is here, look up, for example. I have chosen look up French. If you remember when I was on the website in China, in French language, for example, I wanted to click here, it showed the pronunciation, the meaning. But if I go to even on Chinese, it showed me the pronunciation and the meaning. For example, if I click here, it shows the pronunciation and the meaning. But if I go to Spanish website, you see here, this is the Spanish website. When I click the Spanish word, it doesn't show up automatically. For example, another one. If it is similar to English, maybe it shows. But here, you see, it recognizes it is in Spanish, it cannot recognize. Why? Because here, I haven't check marked the Spanish. If I click on check mark for look up Spanish words on the websites, unfortunately, there are not other languages. We have Italian, French, Spanish, German, most of European languages. But for example, if you check here, we don't have access to Arabic and Farsi. And now, if I refresh it and I go here to Spanish, you see here, if I click, it will bring the definition and the pronunciation. Another one, if I click here, remove this. Okay, you see?
Estar.
It gives the pronunciation and the meaning of the Spanish words. But when I go to Arabic, for example, this website, when I double click, I cannot access it. But Google Translation is here active. I can find the meaning in Farsi or other languages that you see. Even this one in Farsi. When I am looking, for example, this news, when I click here, I cannot access the dictionary. But there is another way. Right click on the word, and here you can see look up the word Farsi in dictionary, and I can click it here and it will go to the dictionary. But you see it says that sorry, there are no results for it because it is looking automatically on the last dictionary that I have searched, Longman dictionary. I can click here, click in this arrow and go and click on one of the Farsi dictionary that I have added, for example this fast dictionary, and see the meaning of the word natije. It means result, and here I can see the, for example, it means outcome, the result or outcome, you see, and other definitions and the conclusion or another meaning, because we have natije for the great child. When your grandparents have children and their children have children and their children have the children, we can call them great children. So it gives me the meaning in Farsi, and even I can change here other dictionaries. Anyway, I am not going to as I mentioned, in other languages, if you cannot access or find the words, it is easily, for example, this word, you can right click on it and look up the dictionary. It will automatically go to the last dictionary that you have chosen. For example, this is another word, Islah means correction or reform, and work with this dictionary. Or here, even you can go to other dictionaries to access. If you have added other more Farsi dictionary or other languages, you can work on it. So it is the same in Arabic. If you have added Arabic dictionary, and the same it is with the Chinese word. For example, this word I can double click and then look it up in a dictionary that maybe it is in Chinese, but it as I mentioned, it now goes to look at the last dictionary. It was Farsi. I can go to more, and here on dictionaries I can go and add Chinese dictionary if I want, if I need, and find the meaning of the Chinese word on it. But you saw, if you remember, automatically it showed here when I was working on this. It looked up because on our settings, if you remember, the Chinese was active. If I deactivate it and refresh it, when I go here and double click on the word, it won't work. You see, it won't work. It is not working. So it depends on the settings that you have activated on settings. Which words would you like when, for example, you are working, which language it becomes activated. I don't want Spanish or even French, only even Finnish or Polish, Indonesian, and also Korean. If I want, for example, maybe French is important that I can keep for the future. So, and also the hotkeys that you can work, for example, instead of clicking, you can work with the keyboards, any shortcuts that you want. So, as I mentioned, this is the history. the vocabularies that you searched. This is the dictionaries that you have kept, and also dictionaries that you have added. If I restore the default, pay attention. Are you sure? It says that yes, I say. You see, it brings all the dictionaries that it added before. You see the previous one. So, and also other changes, but it doesn't change the history. Now, what am I going? I am going to remove this dictionary. I go to my extension. I click here and I go to extensions here, or I can go to manage my extensions. Here on my extensions, I find a dictionaries, you see, and I remove it. Or even here, I was able to remove from here. Click on this three dots and remove it from Chrome. Okay, both of them working the same. Yes, it says that. Are you sure? Yeah, I say yes, and it is removed. Now I don't have access to this dictionary. When I, for example, refresh it, when I double click the word, you see it doesn't show because it is removed. Now I am going to install it. You can go to where Chrome Web Store. When you go to Chrome Web Store, search for dictionaries. The spelling is this: dictionaries. This is the dictionaries. You see the spelling is with IEZ, and it will bring this one. Then you can click on Add to Chrome. It will add it. Then add extension. As you see, it was added here, and it opens the website that we can access as all the things. Now I am going to close this. I'm not going to work on it. Then I click here for the extensions, and then I can pin it here. If I want to see it here, I can pin it, or I can click on here and go to options. Here on the settings or options, as you see, for the first time when it adds, we don't have for example, Farsi dictionary, but I have Chinese Bing Dict. I don't need, I click on this because I don't need a Chinese dictionary. And you see, I don't have, for example, Cambridge dictionary. I can, I have it. If I didn't have, it was enough. Or Farsi dictionary, I can click on add more and add the dictionary, for example, in Persian. I go and add the dictionary, fast dictionary, to my list. And it is here. When I search, for example, book, here you see, search. And it brings the meaning in Farsi dictionary. Book means kitab. You see, kitab. Okay. Now I have added. If I refresh it, I have added here. Even English, because I see that some of the English dictionaries have gone. I can click here and go to English dictionaries and search them. Okay, this is good for slangs, for example. I don't know. Even I can search Control F. For example, mobile. Maybe some dictionary for mobile. Yes. It's a Wiki English mobile dictionary. If I need it, I can add it. Any kind of dictionary you can search and find and add it here on your list. And as you see, the history has gone with all my vocabulary because I removed the program. I didn't need it. Only it was for education tutorial. And the only word that I have searched it is book, and it is added here. And here, pay attention. I can click on this, the word, and it brings the same dictionary that I have searched it very quickly, and I can review it. And the same, I can go to the settings, and you see here it looks up all text. I mean, in Chinese, in German, in Spanish, Italian, Polish. So I can keep them, or if I don't need them, I can check. I mean that here, when I go to here, this Spanish, you see, it automatically will find the one moment. If I click here, it automatically, you see, gives the pronunciation, the meaning, because all of the languages have their checkmark. And it is good because when you are working, even in Chinese, when I click here, it automatically brings the definition, because I should refresh. Yes, and then double click it, and it will give the pronunciation and the meaning. I don't know why it brought it here. Again, I click here. Okay, you see? The pronunciation and the meaning. And it is the same with Farsi. Sorry, when I click here. Automatically, this is another dictionary that you can add. It is Google Translate. When you are here on Chrome Web Store, I can click on extensions and then search, for example, Google Translate. You see Google Translate, and then add it. Because I have it, I should remove it, and it is very good. When you added it here, you see, you can go to options. Here, click on options and choose the language, the native language that you want to have it. When you click on display icon, that I can click on show up. But if you click on immediately and save it, it works like this. For example, here I am working on this. When I double click, it automatically bring the meaning. When I it will work the same as this. When I double click, it will bring in the meaning. But it makes me confused, and it is not good because sometimes I need to double click to select it. So I usually here in options click on display. It means that anytime that I need it, I myself, for example, this one, I can click on this small icon and give the meaning. So it is the same with this one. If you go to your extension here, if you pin it here, you will see it here. If you click on pin, it will be here, and you can click on access the dictionary that I told you, maximize it, and search the words here, or for example, pin. Okay, then click on the pin, and you will see the definition of the word in Farsi dictionary, because I have chosen, or Langman, any dictionary that you have chosen. And then by arrow, clicking on arrow, you can go to more and go to your history. Okay, it shows that you have searched on book, but we have worked on pin. Maybe you refresh it, you will see in the history, yes, other words that I have worked. If you refresh it, you can see. And I don't need, for example, this one, I can remove any word that I don't need. Then I can gather them, rate them, and also delete all of them or download all of them. And also I can add, for example, as I mentioned, this word I want to add to my Anki. I can click on this arrow and add it to my Anki flashcard. You see, it goes to this dictionary. I can copy paste from this dictionary if I need, and then copy it and bring and add it here, for example, down. And even as I mentioned, in Farsi or anything that I want, then I can add to my Anki docs and work on it later. So this is all thing that it was necessary to talk about, and I hope that it was useful. And I'm sure that it is amazing. As I mentioned, you can access all dictionaries in one place. Only it is enough double click and access to the pronunciation, the definition. It is not wasting the time. When you are studying, very quickly you can access all of them. The last point that I want to mention, some people say that it is not good to have a bilingual dictionary, for example, in Farsi. Yes, all teachers says that it is good, but sometimes pay attention. Even you are looking at the meaning of the word, for example, you have found the meaning in English sentences, but you cannot, it doesn't click on your mind. You cannot exactly understand exactly what it means. In this point, I think that it is good to access, for example, the bilingual dictionary and check very quickly, and it will help you. And even all the sentence, for example, I read this sentence, but I cannot, I can understand word by word. But on the whole, I cannot understand. I can click the sentence and check the meaning in Farsi. Even in paragraph, I can click them and all the paragraph, I mean, very quickly. Because I have installed this one, I can click here, or I can right click and check the translation in Google Translate, the whole paragraph or document or article in English or other languages. And even I can listen to the pronunciation of the text, in Farsi, okay, in English, and vice versa. I can change the places in English or Farsi. And all of them I have worked in my website, on my YouTube website, if you need them, but unfortunately they are in Farsi. I have published 2 videos in Farsi about extensions. If some people have problem in adding how extension works, different extension, I have published 2 videos about extension. There are lots of amazing extensions that you can add and work for different jobs. You can go and check them. They are in Farsi. And also here on my playlist, again, it is in Farsi. I have some tutorials on translation tools. different translation tools that you can use, but unfortunately they are in Farsi. Anyway, I hope that this video was useful, and it will change your life regarding learning any languages, not only English. Thanks for your time and paying attention.